So we're looking at an NAR study that was conducted with homeowners and reasons why homeowners are choosing to sell in this market, where we're seeing a lot less listings come up, where people are staying in their homes, right?
And we've got the top 5 reasons that they came up with, National Association of Realtors, in their polling, and we just kind of want to talk a little bit about that today. You know, we joke that this is kind of the first time in history that homeowners are more in love with their mortgage than they are with their house, because of the record low interest rates we saw during the pandemic, which, let's face it, we're probably never going to see again. And I think that's, you know, something that is a lot of people are dealing with right now and looking at some of the things and reasons to move and things like that. So we can dive right in. The number 1 reason was want to move closer to loved ones, which I can tell you from doing listings over the last 2.5 years is a big thing. I tell people I've sold more homes to people moving out of state in the last 3 years than I have in the previous 17 years. COVID changed a lot of that, being closer to family, you know, things that are important that you just couldn't travel and go see and things like that. So, well,
I was just going to further on that, you know, being on the buy side, where you're on the listing side, I tend to be more on the buy side. That is the number 1 reason that I hear is they want to be closer to the people they love. And that's something that we really need to consider when you talk about being married to the mortgage and not the home. Well, what would you rather have? Just a home or be close to loved ones? So that actually, that stat doesn't surprise me.
No,
based on what
life,
we've been
quality of life and all of those things have become way more important. So, and that works in well now with our buy then sell program, because now you can sell your home here, go buy out of state first.
This video is brought to you by Klaus Team Real Estate Solutions. The Klaus Team is different. With the Klaus Team, you have someone on your side. Where you live and make memories is important. We have more unique strategies than anyone else to help you accomplish what matters most to you. We can help you with traditional real estate as well as other options such as our lease purchase programs. We can help you buy first then sell, and we can bring you instant offers. We're here to help our neighbors achieve the American dream and help them build wealth through home ownership. For more info or to start your home search, visit us online at klausteam.com.
The second one that they had brought up was 11% of homeowners selling was moving due to retirement. Well, that makes a lot of sense. They've probably been in their home a long time, which gives them high equity and allows them to then retire where they're going to be most comfortable or in a home that's most comfortable for them.
And again, something we saw increase in the last 3 years with COVID, right? I mean, if a lot of people just didn't go back to work, they just took the opportunity to retire. So we've seen that go up quite a bit. And yes, they have a bigger home, they want to downsize, cut costs, get into something smaller for space. So very common, especially out here.
Right.
Retirement communities and things, very common. So
definitely desirable.
Very much so. And then you have, saying that 11% neighborhood has become less desirable. You know, that could be for a variety of reasons, school districts, things along those lines.
Again, being in your home more, you know, working from home, you got to see your neighbors a lot more than you probably ever did.
Right.
So you might have found that it wasn't really where you wanted to stay.
Right, and that's an opportunity now for people to kind of branch out. You got a lot of people that, I mean, we have over 300 people a day moving here, so sometimes they move, they pick an area, you know, when they first moved here, now that they've been here a little while, they expand and they decide, hey, we either want to be closer to work or whatever the reason is, and the neighborhood is part of it. Because I've said it for years, people are not just buying a home today, they're buying the community.
Absolutely.
And you can see it by the way the builders are building communities now, with community pools and parks and everything tied into that. So that makes a lot more sense, and we see that as well. So
right, being home more, they want to take advantage of walking paths in their communities or the community pools, and so their existing one isn't as desirable as maybe the amenities that the next community could provide. Right, and then that offsets their concern for giving up that low interest rate. They're getting so much more.
Well, and that's
for
the
their
thing
house.
too. You figure, you know, I kind of tease my son's 24. If I put a lawnmower in front of him, he probably wouldn't know what to do with it. And so a lot of these buyers now are going, I don't need a big backyard with a lot of maintenance when I have all of that in the community. So you're seeing more and more of that. So, and then home is too small is a big one. COVID changed that a lot, because home became more than just your home. It became your office, your classroom, your gym, you name it. And turned out to realize, hey, we need a little bit more space, because of that.
Right. You'll always find that people need to upsize, whether it's for their family expanding or now the opportunity to work from home or to work out from home.
Right.
That
and
is
you find when your kids have kids, then you need to get a bigger house too, so your kids never stop costing you money. You have to find out. So
we hear that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then the last one they came up with.
9% of home sellers change in structure of household. And that is a lot with, let's talk about caring for our older parents,
correct,
right? We're seeing a lot of that coming up where their existing home might have been great for them and their kids, maybe a 2-story. Well, their structure has changed and now they need a single story,
yep,
or they need more garage spaces, you know, things of that nature. So it's been really interesting to watch. Again, what has changed over the last 2 years is family and the dynamic and the structure,
right,
and what somebody's looking for. And again, that becomes what is most important, the value of what they're looking for in their home versus holding on to that incredibly, ridiculously low interest rate.
Well, and the thing, keep in mind, going through, we had those low interest rates, and what that caused was home values to go up so much. So even though you may not get that sudden rate today, you have a ton more equity in your home than you did before. And so there's a lot that with that. You also have people, you know, having kids, adding to the family. That changes the structure. You know, unfortunately, there's divorce, there's death, there's things that change that cause people to then have to move as well. And so it could be a variety of things when it comes to household structure. But I would say the last two are kind of moving up and then downsizing, almost kind of typically what you're seeing in that regard. So,
well, I think it's nice that NAR did put out this study, because sometimes we can get so you know, focused on, like you said, I'm married to the interest rate, not my home. And it's okay to say, we've got great equity.
right,
What would it look like if we were to get the home that fit what we're looking for and not be so concerned about that interest rate? Because once you start comparing what it can do for you,
right,
the value outweighs that interest
and
rate.
rates will go up and down over the course of time. And so, I mean, there's always opportunities to refi, things along those lines. And one of the things that's not on here, but obviously we're going to talk about with homeowners, when we talk about first-time buyers and they talk about the mortgage rate and stuff, and we always say, well, you're paying 100% interest right now, so 6% or 6.5% is nothing compared to that. And quite honestly, if you haven't bought or sold or refied in the last 3 years, which isn't a lot of people still, but if you haven't, the rates where they're at today are, I mean, if you go back 10 years, the rates today are very good. It's just when you compare it to what we had, it's like anything, it's going to feel a lot worse than it really is in the long run.
Right. So basically, it's understanding what is most important to you.
Correct.
If you were considering selling and maybe you're feeling that stranglehold of, I want to hold on to this because I don't want to give that interest rate up or my low, you know, monthly payment. Well, talk to us about what's most important. We're not going to tell you you need to sell. We're going to find out, do you fall into maybe one of these categories that make people happy?
Right. Well, and I think it's just asking questions, and really for us, it's going over your entire picture, your entire goals, and seeing what the best fit is. And if it's not the right time, it's not the right time.
Absolutely.
But we'll be honest with you and just help guide you make that best decision for you.
Right. Absolutely.